Good morning. I hope you all are doing great. I am doing okay. I had technical difficulties this morning. I woke up and I was like, I'm going to get everything together. Got everything together and still had issues. I hope you all had a great weekend. Good morning, Heather. I hope you're doing great today. I am freezing my buns off. Someone didn't pay the heating bill here in Texas, and it's cold. It is cold. So I wanted to just chit chat a little bit. And by chit chat, I mean we're going to talk and craft. And then we'll get into the main project. I do want to share this again in case you're interested. We're going to be working on this lady again from last Friday. I've already colored her up and I got some things going on. Yeah, it's it's spring break here and it's cold. I had kind of mentally planned out everything. I was like, we're gonna go to the zoo on Monday, blah blah blah. It was 48 degrees. And my son does not understand, let's wear a jacket, let's do this, let's do that. So I was like, we'll just do something on Tuesday today. And it's cold still. So anyway, I got these. These are unbranded. I don't know who makes them for real. But I really want to cut these out. And I meant to do that warm up. The high 30s. Ma'am, that's cold. I know it's not cold for you, but it's cold for me. So we may do this later on today during the stream. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what I did. I was proactive, very proactive, because I did not want to have y'all sitting here looking like, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? So I cut these out because the title says something about flowers, I believe. And we're making flowers. We did finish coloring our lady off stream. I do have more flowers. If you are not familiar with it, I like flowers. And I just feel like maybe if we keep making more flower stuff, it'll stop being so dang cold. So I did run these through. This is foam right here because I've been trying to get this flower foaming situation down. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with what we know, paper. So I did some paper as well. Good morning, Samara. How are you today? Hopefully well. Are your grandkids go on spring break next week? I think you all are usually 1 week behind us. So yeah, I did all this die cutting. I didn't cut out a lot of leaves. I thought I had more leaf dies, but I apparently didn't put them in the right spot. But I want to just talk about this really quickly. So I had went to the 99 cents only and Dollar Tree and Walmart. Over the holidays, I was on the hunt for foam. On the hunt for foam. And I bought some from overseas. I bought some from Crafter's Companion. I bought a whole bunch. I didn't use any of it because I was afraid. I will admit that I was afraid that I was going to jack it up. And the ones that I bought from online, from the stores versus little cheap ones, costed money. Cost a lot of money. So I was like, why not just get the cheapo foam? And it should do the same thing. If you all remember a while back, we did some melting of the foam on the iron. And so I wanted to get the different textures. If you can see the different textures of foam, different quality will present itself in a different way, which this did. So this yellow is much thicker than this pink one. So this pink one feels like that little foam piece that you get when you buy um, like clothing or shoes that have those little foam pieces in there. This is what this feels like. And if you can see I really want to keep the images on there, the lines and the embossing. So I was like, you know what, let's just put the foam to the side till another day because I really didn't feel like die cutting because I come to the realization that I really do not like die cutting anymore. I really don't. But we're here. We're here and we're going to do it. So but I really like this greenery. So we will be doing some foamy flower situations, but today we're just doing regular flower situations. And I didn't have all the stuff. Whenever I go to do something, I never have all my stuff like right there. Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be very fun. I didn't bring the iron because I was having technical difficulties and I was trying to feed my face. And I went to so I reset the computer, this computer that I'm using now, and I haven't figured out all the settings that I changed, just changed them back. So, I'm stuck just relearning how to do certain things. Like I don't use Edge for a lot of stuff. I use DuckDuckGo, which I use through Google Chrome because Google Chrome has all of my passwords. So yeah, but I thought these would be really nice to flower foam up. You know, next we will dedicate a day, a couple of hour, maybe an hour or so on foam flowers. But I do have these, and let's see if I can get this without knocking it over. I have this, and this came from Hobby Lobby's clearance. A couple of well, it wasn't on clearance with the rest of the clearance stuff. Yes, ma'am. This is all foam. This is all foam. This is just regular paper over here. I thought it'd be really cool to do that. So we're gonna ink up this. Let's work on two things. So, I'm trying to do two projects with you all because I want to give you. I appreciate your time and I want to give you the time that I have to do things. So I always try to figure out at least two or three things to do, and we usually run out of time. I must admit because I probably slower than some people that live stream and I talk a lot. So we have those two factors going against us. But today we're going to be doing some flower foaming, not foam, but flowers and box making. Now, I made a video this morning. So I was proactive. I made a video this morning in case you don't want me to say, "Hey, Samara, what's going on? Your grandkids have summer vacation. Heather, are you getting ready for work?" All that stuff in the video because sometimes that can be a bit annoying, right? And especially for tutorials, I feel like tutorials should be a standalone video. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I made some a couple of months back, maybe. So we're going to be making a box. This box is handcrafted by me. Labor of love, labor intense. When I say a labor of love, it was definitely labor intense. And because I went through a lot of stuff to get these boxes. So we have this lady. We've colored her up. Remember, this is the one we started with, and they were side by side. So we colored her up, and we made a box. I only wasted about 3 or 4 sheets of paper, which is really good. So I'm getting very better at recycling paper that I messed up. So we got that. And I thought she looked really nice with this wood grain paper. And so I made another box because you can't just make one and be like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good." Because that's what I did with the other prototype that I haven't shared yet. So I made this box. And this box, along with some other things, it's purple. It looks blue, but it's really purple. And these little flowers, which is from Michael's. This paper is called In Bloom. And I think I'm just ready for spring. And since I don't really grow flowers properly, I thought this would be really nice. Now I have another project that I want to work on, and we'll do this, but I want to put some tissue in here. And you all know I had made these a while. Well, I only made a few on camera, but I don't know. I have another project that I want to work on, but I thought it'd be really cool to make a few things and just put them all in here and mail them out to Samara whenever I mail out her stuff. Right. So it's gonna be like that. And I feel like, we need maybe something else. Maybe some bargain bead, a coupon to bargain bead or something. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking this could be, or candy or whatever you want to put in here. Thank you so much. And so we did that one. And this is the box I made from I made a tutorial. And this is the box I made. Now, the one thing I'll tell you is that I made a boo-boo. As you can see, the bikes are going in a different direction. This box was really supposed to be like this, but when I cut this out, this paper measures 4 by 5. And I think it still looks great like this, because sometimes when you see things in the store, the patterns are not the same, right? They're the same thing, a bike, but the patterns go a different way. So I thought that would be really cool. And so the reason why I wanted to do flowers is because I felt like we could just, I mean, she has flowers in her hair, right? So we're going to do the box in a few minutes. But I felt like the flowers that we make would go in the box, and that would be really cool. So I may have to bust out the iron and show you all, go back over it. But the thing is, I don't have my hot glue gun out, so I don't want to do all that. I did run out of time. I did run out of time this morning because I was eating. I try to eat so I'm not hangry when I come on camera, but then the camera wasn't working, so that's why I started a few minutes late, because I was like, why is it not working? A 5-second freak out happened, and then I got it together, and here we are. So what I've learned about flower making is that you need lots of petals. You don't have to use all of the petals, but you want to have a lot of the petals just in case you decide to make them full. If you don't want a full flower, you only need like 3 or 4. But what I tend to do is and this is the wrong color. You guys may not be able to see. Oh yeah, you can see it's lighter. I don't know why the camera does that. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I chose pink because that's the paper I had on hand for one. And I was like, oh yeah, I normally don't use pinky colors. I usually use blues and greens and yellows. That's why you saw me with the yellow foam. So I did the yellow foam and green and then this pink. And I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and transition to pink. And we got this. And I think what we're going to do is layer a piece in here like that to give it a little bit of dimension. But I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper that we'll end up using at a later point and inking up the edges a little bit, and we'll go on from there. So yeah, today is day 2 of cold. I don't know if we have a cold front because on Saturday, the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday was relatively nice and warm, and then we got cold. I'm gonna just give it some gathered twig over here, and not a bunch. Well, maybe. We'll see. I had bought this table that I'm working on. Big mistake. It's too small. I had measured out a table that I really wanted to get, and they don't have it at the store. And I was like, well, maybe I can stay in the dining room and craft in there. But my son has been messing with stuff. Like he took this ink pad and inked all over his face with it. I was like, why would you do that? He's like, I don't know. He's at that point of just doing random silly stuff, and it's just like it makes no sense. He took a perfectly good ball and put a hole in it, but I realized that that's what little boys do. Florida, 81 degrees, huh? That sounds tempting. If we were really, you know had decided to continue with our spring break, I would not be complaining because I would be in Florida harassing Barry Crafty and Samara and Don. But with the spike up of, you know, what's going on in the world, and then other things are going on in the world, it's probably better to, stay home or stay closer to home. Florida's a bit of a ways. And if we would have flown, it would have just been interesting. Would have been very interesting. So I'm just going to ink up a few because we won't do a whole bunch of flowers. I want to, I don't think we're going to make a book today either, so don't worry. But I don't know if we'll be here a long time. It doesn't take that long to make the box. It takes longer to ink up the flowers than it does to make the box. So that's something to keep in mind. I would recommend getting all of your production out ahead of time. I do not recommend die cutting one set of flowers, making a flower, die cutting one set of flowers, making a flower. That is bananas if you do it that way. Because no and no. That's all I'm going to say. Well, Heather said it's warming up there. It's 30 degrees. Hi, Helen. How are you today? Hopefully, well. We're making flowers right now, and then we're going to make a box. I'm excited about the box. I forgot to put the measurements in the description, but after this, it'll be in the description. And another video will come out on Thursday for how to make the box. In case you can't stay or you don't want. Oh, good morning, Barry Crafty. I was just talking about you. Your ears must have been ringing, ma'am. We're making flowers in a box. I'm not sure about all of you, but I feel spring is in the air. And I think that if we continue to craft more springy stuff, it'll get warmer. That's probably not the real process on how it works, but that is what I am envisioning. Hope everyone is doing well. You all are staying warm or dry or cool if you're hot. I'm working on staying warm. I usually wear a big fluffy robe when I craft. I think I cut this leaf off. And I was like, you all don't want to see all my fuzz balls. All right, so we got that. We're going to put this to the side. Now, again, what I'm about to pull out, you don't need this. I would recommend if you want flowers and you want to do this, I recommend buying baking tools to do this. So this is a baking tool, and it's the exact same thing that you would use as a flower foaming. So the baker set is cheaper than the craft set. Go figure, right? Just like those tackle boxes. They're the same exact thing, but they cost more money. All right, so if you take this and do this, or take it on this one and kind of rub it in, you'll see that this will start to create circles and your flower will curl up. And if that's what you want, then go with it. Excuse me 1 second. All right, if you have a stable desk, which apparently I do not, and you want to make these come out, curl more inward, you would just spend a little bit more time in that curl on that one petal. All right. So we're going to have a few of these. And if you really want to get fancy, you can always wet them, ball them up, and uncurl them. I want to say Barry Crafty has a video on how to do that. It's an older one, but you probably have to look up flowers and see. Um, and then if you have some tattered lace mist, you can spray that on there and it would give it a luminescence. I don't really like um, loose glitter, but you can also use loose glitter if that makes you happy. It does not make me happy. I do not want to use loose glitter, so we will not be using it today. on camera at least. All right, so I think we're going to have about 7 petals on this flower. And I'm just making a circle, nothing too stressful or stressing, because we don't need that, right? When we're crafting, we don't need that at all. Shaggy, you're going to have to go over here, buddy. And if you use a larger one, it curls larger. If you use a smaller one, it curls smaller. The physics of flower making. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take them all. I need a pink, a baby, a small pinky. And let's ink this up. What are y'all's plans for the week? I have videos coming out this week, 10 on the 10th, 13. Why, ma'am? Why? I just need to know why. You always crack me up when you say that. Like, you're like, I don't want to, I've tried it and it's not my cup of tea. So you see how we take the smaller one and it curls more? And if that's what you want to have, a smaller curl, you can do that. And it just gives it a bigger indentation. The one thing that I really would like to invest some money in one day, not anytime soon, is the Heartfelt Creations. They have a whole flower foam. It's a whole production, and I would love to try that one day. But I don't want to give them my money because it's expensive. So I'm going to try to catch it probably doing Black Friday. I really want to know why you took a break from trying it. All right, so now we're going to put down this piece first. So since we're going to put this piece down, we're just going to take some glue and put it here. If you are into hot glue, this would be, I'm going to I'm going to allow it for this project because hot glue is okay in this project. You know what? I'm gonna get the iron and we'll do that one as well. So now we have our little petals formed up, and now we're just going to do this. And if you wanted to stop here, you can. Old me would probably be like, okay, that's enough. But the new me is like, go big or go home, right? Like, why live in Texas if you can't practice that motto? So now we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna offset the flowers. All we're doing is offsetting the flowers. And I know you're probably like, why'd you use this color? Because I thought these patterns were really pretty. And I only had one sheet of paper. I went through some loose 12 by 12s, and that's what I pulled out. All right. Now I want to say this, and this is going to sound like I'm anti-crafting, but a lot of the craft stuff we do, a lot of the stuff that we do when we're crafting is a waste of time because you can't see it, right? We just inked up all these edges and you can't see it. But overall, once you finish and you're looking at the details of your flower, it makes it prettier. So I would say go out and do it. Like, go ahead and do it. Don't not do it because it's a waste of time. Do it because at the end of the party, it's going to be amazing. Amazing. All right, so I am not going to use any more white pieces. The pattern piece, I'm just going to use more pink, and then until the very end, I'm going to put another layer of pink right here. And we did not curl this one up. So I'm just going to use my hand before the art glitter glue decides to revolt on me. And if you call your hand like this and just, it works the same way. The foam just gives more pressure. You don't have to worry about, applying all that pressure into your hand. Now, the one thing I am not good at is being in the center. So you just got to be mindful of your center because you don't want your flower to start shifting over any in any one direction. You want it to stay. All right, so we got this piece. Now again, I do recommend getting all your stuff inked up, all your papers cut out, inked up, and then assembly line fashion. But since we're only going to make one flower, it's no need in doing all of that today. And you see how it's kind of shifting over? All you need to do is just slide your petal back over. Again, art glitter glue is probably not the best glue to use in this situation. You probably want to use a tacky glue, because tacky glue would allow some wiggle room. But whatever you have on hand also is what you use. Don't go out and buy something extra just because. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Use what you got. All right, so now we're going to take one of our foam dots, and we're going to be using this medium size one. And putting it right in the center. Now, the reason why we only made one is because those boxes that you make, do you keep them or you give them away? You probably give those things away, right? So with the boxes, if you're making a box, you're giving it away. So what you're really doing is giving this as a sample of what it is that you have made for the recipient. And you're going to get all this other stuff. You're just going to gather all of these things. In my case, I'm keeping them, but this is the purpose of the video in the box, right? And then I'll go and get the little iron so we can do this flower foaming real quick. Well, after we make the box, because the box is going to take us a minute. So you get all of this together. You probably already have all these set aside, and you want to be real neat. You put it in a little bag. And since it says fresh flowers every day, your person will make them some fresh flowers. You'll put this in here. Knowing me, I would probably put a whole, yeah, because I've sent Samara something like that before. I would put a whole bunch in here, covering almost to the top, and have this piece like that. Maybe 2 or 3, and that would be the thing that I would send out because it goes with the theme, right? Fresh flowers every day. Now, when I was making this box, I cut down too much, a little bit too much. So you don't want to, the measurements I'm going to give you are precise, okay? If you mess up your measurements, start over. That's all I'm going to say. Start over. All right, so here are the measurements. When you come back, you'll be able to see these in the description box because I'm going to just copy and paste them in there. I can't do that right now, but I will later. So let's make this box because it's going to be fun. So first thing is I am not making the liners on the sides of the box. Right here, we're not doing the liners on the box. So what I'm going to try to do is find a piece of paper that this lady looked good on. And I'm thinking we could probably go with a pink or maybe a blue-ish color. So, because she's going to, she's the star of the show today. Because she's a continuation from Friday. And then we'll talk about the bottom piece. And I think this might work for us. So we're just going to see how she looks sitting on here. And if she looks nice, we'll go with it. And I think she looks good. So we're going to go with that piece. So what you're going to need to do is get an 8.5 by 11. Well, you can use whatever you like, however your paper situation is set up. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do mine. I'm going to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I'm going to use this as our base. And this will be our top, okay? So for our bottom piece, you're going to need your paper to measure out 8.5 by 9.5. And that's why I suggest the 8.5 by 11. Yeah, I just, I don't like to walk. I don't like to let things that have no voice defeat me. So I'm like, I'm gonna work on it. But sometimes, like the box that I showed you and Barry crafted that time, that frustrated me. I'm still upset because I did all that work and it still didn't come out properly. So I have to revisit that. I'm just gonna try to put this up. Everybody had their cups of coffee today? All right, so this is already 8.5, so we don't have to worry about that. This is the 11-inch, so we're going to cut off. We're going to go to 9.5. Remember, precise, precise, as best as precise as you can be. If you know that you're a crooked cutter, ask someone to cut for you, or use your paper trimmer. I mean, if you have a electronic cutting machine, use that one. And now for our box top, we're going to use 8.5 by 7 5/8. Oh yeah, I don't drink coffee anymore. I tried to be an adult and it did not work out. So here we are on juice, soda, and water. So 8.5. I have a whole little coffee set up, and I was like, when we have guests, they can use it. I bought creamer and everything. It just didn't work out for me. So 8.5. And this piece, like just say if you wanted to put this around the bottom of your box, you could. That's why I think you should make sure your boxes match up the top and the bottom match up. And now we're going to measure 7 5/8. So we're going to come over here to 1/2 inch and go to 5/8 and cut it. All right, and these are our measurements. Now you need your scoreboard. Now, I'm the first to tell you that I do not like funky measurements, but I realize that sometimes funky measurements is all you got. All right, so we're going to take this piece, and if you want to make sure that you cut it good, you can always use your scoreboard or whatever. But we got 7 5/8 and 8.5. Now we're going to score this. This paper is a little bit on the fragile side. You could spritz it with a little bit of water so it doesn't crack or break. But in general, if you don't score so heavy-handed, you should be good. We're going to score at 1 inch all the way around. Now, if you want to, you can turn it over and score again. I would just say, please be mindful of your paper. If you have really, really good paper and your paper can take a beating of the scoring, then that's fine. If it cannot, then be a little bit more ginger with it. Now, this is the top. Now we're going to go with the bottom piece. And our bottom piece, we're going to score at 1.5 inches around all sides. I think, whenever I'm trying to work on something, I think that this is the easiest way to just score all the way around, because I don't want to tell you, oh, you score at 1.5 inch, then you go and score at 8. I just think 1.5 inch around the whole thing is good. You don't need to be stressed out. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, my friend, she lives in Canada and she drinks a lot of tea. A lot of tea. Um, and then I have other friends, they're like, I need coffee, or I'm gonna, chop off a head or something. And I'm like, please get this lady some coffee. I do not want to be beheaded. All right, so now we're just going to burnish on the score lines. So I have a question for you all that are you liking the notification? If you're getting notifications, are you liking the notifications earlier, or would you prefer the same day? Like if I was to go in and schedule out, this whole, let's say for example March, or the whole week, if I schedule the whole week out on Friday for Tuesday and Friday, which one works better for you? The notifications ahead of time or the same day? All right, so now that we have the scores, we're just going to cut up on our first score mark. Now this is Joanne fabric craft paper, so be mindful. It has a white core. If you're okay with that, that's fine. If not, find a marker that has the same color. Now you see how I cut on that line? Make sure not to cut. Okay, both are fine with you, Heather. That's good to know. Make sure not to cut more. because your box won't cut, it won't fold properly. So you want to cut on that score line. Don't cut too much off of the part that you are folding into. That's the bicycle box that I showed you. All right, Samara, thank you. I'm just trying to be more proactive with all of that. All right, so we got our box cut, and now we're going to do the same for our top. I don't know why it needs that extra fold. So here we go. I'm going to fold and burnish, fold and burnish. Fold and burnish. All right. That one folded too easy. Like we already did that one. If you need to burnish, if you need a better piece of paper that won't buckle or bend, then by all means get it. I just feel like I want to try to use up some of that paper that I have been uh, hoarding. That piece looks like it may give us some issues. You think I didn't even score this, but I promise I did. I promise. All right. So we got that. 40 minutes in, huh? Wow. YouTube. I swear. Yeah, on some of the people that I watch, I'm like, I never get a notification. Ever. Ever. Okay. So we're just cutting and notching, cutting and notching. So I did go to Hobby Lobby last week, like I told you I was gonna do. They did not have any other things clearanced out, which is good for me. More so for my pocketbook. So I cut this one a little short, and that should be fine. And now we're just going to go ahead and, oh shoot, nope. All right. So now this is the thing you have to decide, right? Before we even glue that down. You need to decide on if you're going to do something else to your top piece. Are you going to add something to it? If not, then you're good to go. If you're going to add something to it, like we're adding something to it, now is the time to do that. Now is the time. Do not wait. Do not press go. Don't go to jail or none of that crap. Decide right now. Don't even make your box. If this is all you're going to do, then you're done. Glue her down or whatever and go. So what we're going to be doing, just like on this lady, we glued this back down and then we popped her up. We don't really need to do that for her because it's just a flat piece. But what I will do is I will change the glue because we don't want it to buckle. We don't want the wet glue to make it bow. So we're going to use this glue. So I did go to Hobby Lobby. I bought one of these glues. They didn't have the big one. They had the small one. And it was $6. It was half the size. So roughly the same price because Joann's did not have a coupon last week. So look, okay. And I didn't feel like going to Joann and all the other places. So here we are. We're going to just put her down and we're going to burnish her down. Excuse my arm. I know some people don't like people to be reaching. But my tools are all over the place. Because I'm all over the place. So here we go. I'm just rubbing this in. Oh. And there we are. Now we can resume to gluing this down. So we're going to glue here and here. And I think I need to cut that little corner a little bit more. So we'll see. All right. And then we just do this. This is not good. You see, that sliver is not good. That means I scored it wrong or the paper's off, which I scored it wrong is probably a more appropriate statement. We'll just work through it, though. We'll work through it. We're not going to fret yet. Not yet, at least. So we got this. We got that. And I'm going to put this here like that. Yeah, because one side is right and the other side is wrong. So I did something wrong. You don't want to, it's better to cut it off after you get it assembled versus before. That way you can see what the problem is. And since it's not a huge issue, just going to trim it. And trim it. And there we go. Now, this one. YouTube is funny. And this is just a rinse and repeat situation. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay. If you do use hot glue gun, I would probably use a thinner amount than your normal glue application for paper, only because you want the size to be thin. You want it to be thinner. Now, I do want to tell you all that I did not watch a tutorial or anything like that to make the box. The box is definitely dedicated to the lady on the cover of the box, so we could fit whatever we're going to use inside. I'm just going to go around and rub that down a little bit. And then I'm just going to check this out. And I think I want to slice this off. We're not slicing this piece, only the tabs. Don't cut anything else, just the tabs. All right, so we have our box. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Can I get a drum roll, please? All right, here we go. And there we are. Now, the one thing you could, when you decide to make your own box, of course, you can do your own measurements. I want to make sure that my box, none of them are bowing. And by bowing, my green box does it a little bit. You see it kind of bends in right there. You don't want your boxes to bend in. You want them to fit properly. So that is that. That is all I have today for box making and fold and flower making. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So we have these right here. So we have 4 boxes. And they're just in time for spring or Easter. You can definitely put a bunny on here or a cross. This probably would look really good with a cross and a religious saying or a script from the Bible. And then on the inside, you could put a little book for, like, taking notes, Bible journaling, and things like that. You could definitely do that. Or if you want to put some candy in there for, a mature lady. I'm going to say little kids. I would definitely think these would be more for adults versus children. But I like them a lot. And I have 4. Yay! Let's see how long I keep them. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and work on something else. Unless you want to see the box again. You know what? We're going to roll the beautiful bean footage one more time for the box, and then we'll move on to the next project. I'm just going to get a different sheet of paper that has a pattern on it. I always struggle with that decision, right? So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take it and make those. So yay me and my sanity for today. We're gonna do all these little fancy liner pieces so you can see the whole shebang. I'm just trying to find my paper pad that I thought I moved into position to be ready to use, but apparently no. All right, so we're gonna be using my mind's eye. Yeah, roll that beautiful bean footage. I love saying that. I love it. Hopefully Bush's baked bean don't come for me, because that's probably a trademark. All right, so in the spirit of flowers and butterflies and wing things, we're gonna probably use this paper, this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear that out. Ooh, that's pretty too. Ooh, we'll do this one. We'll do this one, and hopefully I don't tear it. So this is gonna take a lot more time, only because we got a lot of cutting to do, and we're gonna be using this sheet of paper for all of the cutting. So now you're gonna need two 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I think I want to use purple because I think this purple will complement this purple flower very, very well. Hi, Chocolate. How are you today? Hopefully well. If I had a cream, that would be pretty too. But I think we're going to use this violet or purple, lilac, whatever color you like to call it. Because this is purple. Let's see. Oh, we're going to use the purple one. Yeah, purple looks a lot better. Okay. So in this instance, you will still need the same. Everything is still the same, except we don't have that top sheet to go by. We have much more room for error. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. So again, the first set would be 8.5 by 9.5. My little notes. I'm gonna slide those out the way. So 8.5 by 9.5, and you have a larger paper trimmer, then go for it. So 9.5 will go right here. And again, put that to the side. If you want to use your scrap paper, I'm not the channel for that because I make a lot of scraps, unfortunately. But you can definitely use these with word layering for your sentiments and things like that. Or you can just type in how do I use my scraps and find it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our 8.5 side and we're going to cut off 7 and 7. We're going to cut 7 and 5/8 to there. So half and then up. All right. Score. Cut. And then we're going to cut 8.5. Now, since we're doing all our paper cutting and trimming and everything, now I need to cut this paper down. So I'm going to just go ahead and cheat and use my paper trimmer first to cut it. So for our bottom liner, we need a 5 3/8 by 6 3/8. Good Lord. All right. Okay. So we'll do the 6 3/8 first because this sheet will work for both top and bottom. And I do not really care for this not working out properly. So that's 6 3/8. It's a 1/4 inch before the half. Okay. So this is the top. This will be our top and bottom sheet of paper, hopefully. So 6 3/8 by 5 3/8. So And then our top liner is supposed to be 6 3/8 by 5.5. So we're just going to go back here, turn this around because we want to get some of the, oh, yeah, we'll get rid of that. 5.5. Now, if you're confused, don't worry. So am I. We're all in this together. I'm joking. I would recommend you write a B on here with your pen or your pencil. So this is the bottom and this is the top layer. Okay. Just in case. And then I don't think I want to wrap all this around there, but if you do, then that is fine. Fine and dandy. I do not like cutting those little tiny pieces off, and I'm not into doing that much, but if you want to, you can. And what I mean is I don't want to take my thin strips, what I do with it, and glue all the way around the side. I feel like for me, I would much rather a decorative sheet of paper versus that. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. The measurements will be in the description box after the video post. So you can just do that and put it on there. I don't want to do that because she don't need that headache. Okay, so we're going to take this piece. Let's see, this is 8.5 by 7 5/8. So we're going to score that at 1 inch around the entire paper. One. And since this is this Joanne fabric paper is 110 and kind of heavy duty, we can apply a little bit of pressure to it. No big deal. It should not really tear or rip. I do like this paper more so than other papers. I know a lot of people don't like because it has that white core, but that's when you have to keep in mind not to be really rough with it. And this one should be 8.5 by 9.5. Uh-oh, this is off. All right, let's recut another sheet of paper. I have another sheet. Okay. So this is always the funny part. Now I cut the 9.5 portion off, right? And this is supposed to be 8.5, but as you can see, it's not. So we just have to keep that in mind when you have paper. This is off as well. You know what? We're just gonna go with it. Maybe I've been using off paper the whole time and just not realize it. Let's see. No big deal. So we're gonna score this at 1 1/2 on all the sides. I really like that paper pad. My mind's eye. I think it was what, $5, $6. I was like, it was $5.99. I always try to do the math to see how much is it. It's at Michael's when they have those 180 sheets. I was like, okay, this is a good deal. All right, let's get it. That's back in the day when you could find a lot of craft stuff at Tuesday morning. Now it's it's hit or miss. Someone had told me, this lady, I went in and the whole entire craft section was like empty, and she said a lady came in a couple of days ago and bought all the stuff. I was like, what? Who does that? I was like, selfish. But she probably was donating it to somebody or something like that. So who am I to complain about good craft supplies being donated? I'm that person that was complaining. Yep, and yep. So I think what we're gonna do, if this is not too much, I think we could put this sheet. No, that's not gonna work. None of those cut aparts will go on that top piece. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind. If you're going to do a lot of layering, maybe you need to look into that before you layer it. We could try this piece, but I feel like this piece, yeah, we'd be fussy cutting. And we're not fussy cutting today. I could, well, I was going to say I could fussy cut this truck out, but yeah, who does that? Selfish. Yeah, I went to Tuesday morning a couple of weeks ago looking just to look, and I didn't buy anything because they didn't have anything. Whenever I go, they always say, "How's your son doing?" Never like, hey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. They're like, is your son in school? I'm like, yes, because it's school time. So where else would he be? That's what the smart aleck wants to say. But I don't. I just like, yes, he's in school. Uh-huh. And I keep it moving. All right. So I think, I know, I love it. It's so amazing. Fussy cutting is my life's passion, apparently. I was thinking I could use this dang on bird cage to fussy cut out. But it's not going to work, so we're just going to keep it moving. We'll try this in, no, we're just going to leave this top empty. And maybe I can put another lady on. So you know what? Maybe we can color her up, right? Um, yeah, maybe we'll end the stream with coloring. Although that was not the plan. So I'm just going to trim this off because, the thinner paper doesn't do so well in my paper trimmer for whatever reason. I do not, I said earlier, I have come to the realization that I don't even like die cutting anymore. I just find it to be so laborious. I mean, I only do it because it's a necessary evil. But normally, I'd bust out that scanning cut. That's what I was thinking this morning. I was like, I should get the scanning cut. But I was like, I don't want to wake up the little roommate any earlier than he'll wake up. So I was just using my die cutting machine. Like, mad. Mad. For no reason. Because who wants to use that, right? Oh, I did write the name on there. I'm going to have. All right. So now is the time when you need to put, so we got bottom and top. This is when you're going to glue your piece down, okay? You can either cut your pieces out and then, cut your tabs out and then glue them down. I recommend doing it now. Thank you, Velez. Yeah, I like flowers too. Yeah, I do enjoy a good flower. Although I'm not the greatest at it, I do like doing it. All right. So if you want to keep your inside plain, you can. It's no one saying, no, you need to make it what has a liner in it. I just feel like the liner will draw the person's attention um, a little bit into it. Now, this is cut precisely for the inside of this thing. So if you screw it up, you have a little bit of room to either pull this up and adjust it or just go with it and hope that no one notices it because I did jack it up. This is a little bit high, and that's okay. No big deal. As long as it's not on the crease, we're fine. And we're gonna just rub it out with our finger. And we're just gonna sit this to the side and let it dry while we apply our other piece on here. Just like that. This is purple. It's violet. It is not blue. It's coming across as blue, but it actually looks just like this, which is purple. I don't know. Um, the webcam. Blame it on the webcam, and that's my story. I'm gonna stick to it. All right, so just applying this, and I am using this glue because this paper is really thin, and it will not warp the paper. It will stay flat. But whatever you have will work. Just remember to not apply a lot of paper. I mean, a lot of glue to it, or else it will bow. I think if we had some die cut words out, die cut words, um, you know, flowers, bloom where you plant it, grow where you bloom where you plant it, something like that would work. So maybe I'll go online and maybe print it out, and then I'll take that piece that we cut, this piece right here that we cut, and layer it in purple. So it'll be, and I'll show you on Friday if I get a chance to finish it this week. So I'll find that Bloom Where You Plant It, print it out, and then I'll layer this and I'll do some fancy cutting around the sides. Yeah, glue will make you happy or sad at a point. So it's definitely, if you're doing paper projects, to use a glue that won't warp your paper. So I'm just burnishing that in, and we're gonna let this dry. And now we're gonna go back to our original one, and we're gonna crease and fold, score, cut, fold, score, cut. You know, I had posted a couple of months ago that my son actually beat his first game. He saw the credits roll, and now he's been restarting his characters every since then. It's really cute and annoying at the same time. So we're gonna cut on that crease and cut a notch out. Now you see how this is not all the way loose. If you pull it too much with this white core, you'll get that. I just want you to see. I'm not bothered by that white core at all. But if you are, I would suggest going a little bit past that line. No one will know. It's okay. The only person that's going to know is you. And if you are swapping with a crafter, they may investigate your work. And that's fine. I always say no one's perfect. Even the person that you think is the most perfect crafter has flaws. We're all flawed in our crafts. And that's what makes it amazing, right? All right, so here we go. Just cutting up and notching out. So this little piece is gonna bother me. It's lifting up just a slight amount. I'm gonna apply that wet glue. I'm just gonna rub it out. There we go. So now we're gonna go ahead and put our sides up, and we are gonna use the wet glue for this as well. If you have tacky glue, you can use tacky glue, whatever kind of glue you have. If you have adhesive, you can use adhesive, whatever's gonna stick best. I feel like glue just seems more promising over months and years. As if you take this and I feel like if you take it and you put it inside a window, the heat will burn, to melt that glue out. Yeah, a lot, I don't know if I showed you this. I was working, I'll show you in a second. I was working on this hat for my son, but it's called for single crochet, and I decided to double crochet it. And I think I ran out of, I think if I can continue to do it the way I want to do it versus the instructions, I'm going to run out of yarn. So I'm going to have to go back and single crochet it. And I did the same silliness again. That's okay. All right. So we're just going to rub this down some. And you see, this is our box base. You can't tell that anything is off. It looks really good. And I think when you throw something in there, not throw in a bad way, you put whatever you're going to put in there. No one's going to be checking your creases. And if they are, they're crazy. Unless, you're taking a craft test and the person's grading your work. And if that's the case, good luck. Right. But if you put all your whatever you're going to put in there, maybe a thin piece of tissue, no one's going to be like, oh, that's off. I see it's a eighth of a quarter of an inch off. I'm going to deviate real quick. I'm supposed to be making this hat for my baby. I need to go ahead and finish the hat before he is a grown man and can't wear the thing. But what's supposed to happen? You're supposed to put this little uh oh. it's supposed to be like this, and it's supposed to be a beanie, basically a beanie. But I think that if I continue to make it in this pattern with this situation, it will be too small. And my son has long, long hair, so I need it to be longer. I could just get some blue fabric, blue yarn, and make him a hat like that. I think I may go in the garage and get a blue skein of yarn and just go with that. But yeah, anyway, so that's the thing about following patterns properly. If you don't, you may have to frog out your work and start over. Yeah. So you trying to crochet, Samara? What's the one thing that you all have as craft stuff that you're too afraid to do because you don't want to jack it up? I'll tell you, I have a sewing machine that I'm a big chicken about, but very crafty. When she sews things, I'm like, ooh, I should try that because now I have someone I can ask for help, her, if I need it. I'm just going to make these extra crease down and show you how the white could poke through if you do it too much right here. And all you need to do is just take a junk journal supplies. Oh, that's true. And if you wanted to, you can come through with this because it is vintagey looking, and no one would ever know that that's not how it's supposed to be, right? Junk journal supplies. Well, I think on Friday we're going to be working on a junk journal. So maybe Heather, maybe Marla, you have a cinch. Oh, why? Okay, so my cinch is upstairs and I don't want to bring it downstairs. So maybe next week we'll do cinch. So next Tuesday we can work on a cinch. I don't know. I don't know. We could do cinches, a few cinch books. I love my cinch machine. I don't use it that often because I have other issues. I had to have it right. I just had to have it. So now we're just cutting this and cinching it. I mean, notching out, cinching it. We're notching out our corner. Um, I I've used my cinch a few times. I actually enjoy it. The thing is, I don't want. I'm gonna sound cheap when I say this, but the materials for the cinch machine are expensive. In my opinion, if you buy them through a big box store, the coils are very expensive for one book, and I usually only make books on special occasions, like for someone. I don't normally make them that often to give away. Like for birthdays and certain events, I'll sit there and I'll make a book. But I do enjoy junk journal books more so than cinching them up. So maybe that's why I like to sew because for a long time I was afraid to make a junk journal, and then I conquered the junk journal fear, and I'm like, I can make a junk journal whenever I want, and I don't do it. What a weirdo. She's weird. I know. That's okay. I love me. I'm the only one like me. So I have to put up with me, right? All right, so we got this, and we're going to be folding this up. And I do like that this cardstock is, pretty heavy duty for 110. I feel like I can abuse it a little bit when I'm crafting. And I'm just checking to make sure I don't see any sides coming out, and I don't. And I like that we have a lot of purples on here. So you see how it's getting ready to be bent in. You should not bend your boxes. You don't want them to bend in. And there we go. But I feel like since these are both 110, it's kind of like a power struggle of fighting to see which one is going to outdo the other one. So now we have 5 boxes, y'all. I do prefer this process better than this process. But each person that creates their craft will figure out what makes them the happiest. And we have this one. So I do like all of them though. And they're all very pretty colors. Thank you. Thank you. It's fun. You know, it's very fun to do it. I love it. All right, so we got stuff in this one and this one that we need to take out. All right, so let's move these to the side. And we got stuff in here. Now I don't, I'll probably have to flour foam on Friday, only because the way my situation is set up right now, I will probably end up unplugging the wrong thing. But inside the boxes, since we made flowers, this is how, if you can cut paper, then you can make crafts. Yeah, so I have a tutorial on this box because I didn't think people would want to watch this and try to do a craft with me as a tutorial. So I like this one too. I am very partial to this one. I will probably keep this one for a longer period of time than I should. But we made this flower. It is crooked as I don't know what. Let's see, where did it go crooked at? Right here. Nope. All right. So we're going to pull this piece up and adjust it. Okay. We're just going to gingerly do that. No one will ever know, so don't tell anybody. All right. Crooked in two spots. Hi, Nix. Yeah, maybe we'll work on flower foaming and a junk jar on Friday. I'll have to do all of that legwork today and over the week. I'm just taking apart a flower that is crooked. These two pieces are not cooperating. All right. All right, let's fix it. So I'm going to just move it over to the left a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. If you type in hi and do the @ sign in the person's first couple of letters, you don't even have to write it all out. Maybe this piece is jacked up. We're going to use this because, yeah. All right, that looks better. I think we probably need another piece in here, to be honest. So let's go ahead and glue that down. All right. And you're probably like, why are you putting all those pieces on there? The more you put on there, the prettier the flower looks. I did choose pink because I was in a strange mood this morning. I got mad at die cutting. I was like, die cutting is for the birds. So yes, it's official. I don't like die cutting as much as I used to. And you already know I do not care for fussy cutting at all. Fussy cutting and die cutting, two things that we don't have to do. I'm just going to curl these over a little bit. Even though we did all that forming on the foam piece, I'm just going to curl these over and I'm going to give them some tweaking. If you do decide to do this, a good way to make flowers, you can wet them and ball them up in your hand and let them dry a little bit. and you'll be able to uh, manipulate the fibers better. Because you know the dry paper is supposed to be done for dry crafting. So if you wet it some, that's totally up to you. But there we go. See, it gave it a little bit more pizzazz, and we're going to put this gem back in the center, hopefully. So yeah, and now we're going to take our little foam pieces, just like that, and we're going to attach it there. And I'm going to use some tape. You know, ma'am, that is a true statement. I do not like to buy dyes that go with the well, I'm biased, because I do have a scanning cut. So I'm always like, if my scanning cut could do it, I don't need a dye for it. I think some dyes are just easy, like the basic shape dyes. You can do a lot with those basic shapes. All right, so we're gonna just put that here like this, and there we go. Yeah, I actually my 10 on the 10th project, if it goes the way I want it to go, I'll probably end up fussy cutting a lot. So every time I say I don't like something, I end up doing a lot of it. Like I'll probably go and make a lot more flowers because I like how it looks. And I'm not sure about therapeutic because I don't think I think coloring is more therapeutic for me than anything. All right, so there we go. Now I have a question for you all because we're going to be ending the stream not soon, but soon. Do you want us to color another lady and put her on here? You think she look cute on here? Or would you like to do something different? Yeah, my therapy is definitely coloring. So if we put this lady on here, she will look she's gonna look gorgeous. Gorgeous, darlings. But she'll look like this, the cutout. Um, is that something we want to do or no? Just let me know. If not, we will um move on. I could put Sharon on a cover because she has flowers and stuff in her hair as well. Which one? We're gonna go with Sharon or Shh. The name of this is Shh. Okay, you said her. Which one is her? Okay, Sharon. We'll do Sharon. All right. So yeah, Nix, I'm not sure how long what you missed, but we color her and on twice. Friday we started coloring her. I don't know what I did with the other one. I got so many boxes now. So we did her. I did her off screen. Um. Well, shucks. Oh, right in my face. So we made this box off screen. Yeah. We made this box together, and this is the lady that we colored together, and this is her cousin. Um, they're both saying be quiet. It's nice secrets on the inside of the boxes. It's nothing now, but whenever I do mail them out, the people will get something in there, and it'll probably be some craft stuff, just so you know. It'll be something that you have to make. And then we have these, and I'll be doing this on Friday as well as a book. All right, so we're gonna do Sharon on the front. Okay. Let's get our ink. situation going, and then we made flower. We made a flower. I like this flower. Can we put this in her hair? No. Okay. I was just checking to see if she would look good with that. All right, so I am going to use this. I do like this a lot. I am the only thing I don't like about it um, is the magnets. The magnets are amazing. I just don't like that they're so flat to the ground. That's what I don't like. I mean, flat to the thing. They're hard to pick up without me sliding them. I am using some, I think, Joanne fabric paper. And we're going to do her twice. And we'll do Sharon twice. So I'm just going to take this paper and tear it. It doesn't matter if it's cut or torn because we will be fussy cutting. That is the word for the day, right? Fussy cutting. We probably could have got, oh, ooh. Can we do it? We may be able to get two. Let's just see. I think we'll be able to get two images on this one sheet of paper. I could have been a little bit neater, right? Go figure. Go figure. All right. Okay. We're going to ink up. Now, the one thing I haven't really determined yet is if I should be using different ink. I have been on the fence about using a specific kind of ink, but it's I don't want to pay for it because I feel like if it's that great, I'll be addicted and I'll want to get all the colors. Spoken like a real cheapskate, right? But anyway, we'll go with her. She got strawberries in her hair. This stamp is from Prima. The artist is Jamie Doherty. She hasn't made any stamps with Prima to my knowledge, but she has all of the bust, like the larger bust. She has a man, a few guys that I need to use. They're really hard to find, so if you're into those kinds of things, I would definitely go and look for them now before someone catches on that they are masterpieces and they should be put in a museum somewhere, a craft museum. The ink I want to try is the ink from Crafter's Companion because it's supposed to be, I think it's the quick drying ink that they have that doesn't allow smudging when you color with alcohol ink. I'm not sure how true that is. Oh, okay. I'm just going to turn it over. Do the same thing. It's pretty dark. We don't want the ink to be that dark on it because see, it still has that little fuzz. So you got to be mindful of that when you ink up your ink pad. Yeah, Crafter's Companion have just about, they have the crafting market cornered. Whatever you think they don't have, they probably do. She looks editorial now since the ink is so dark on here. She looks like an editorial from an old magazine. So if we would have just take like a brown and white, rub it down, and then try to color her up, that would be an interesting look for Sharon. Yeah, they had their own ink. They had their own glues. Well, It has their name on it. I don't know if it's theirs or not. Scoreboards, paper trimmers, dies, stamps, paper. I'm just checking to see if I'm okay with this being kind of not there. The answer is no. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff. You know, we talked about this last week was craft day, right on HZ. I didn't even go to craft day. I showed up and I was like, I'm gonna sit this one out. I usually try to get the auto ship from one of the people that I think is, whoever has a cool thing for the whole year. I didn't no one was talking about it in the Facebook groups either. But I wasn't like very impressed with what I did see, so I didn't. Come on, Sharon. Now do your eye, ma'am. Do your eye. All right. There we go. That's gonna have to work. All right. Gonna put this to the side. Clean her off. And let's get started. Now, I am going to go ahead and cut her out. All right. So I think she's more inked in. Yeah, she's more inked in. And we're going to go ahead and get started and then we'll finish. No, not the skin tone I want. Sharon. I want her to have brown hair. Yeah, I watched not enough apparently. I think I'm going to say this selfishly. I think that when they're in the studio, it makes me want to buy more than when I see them from their home or whatever. I don't know. I feel like when they go to work, it looks different than when they're at their own private whatever doing it. Like this one lady had a dog. I was like, what's going on right there? Porcelain peach. I don't know, Sharon. We might have to go with this sand, ma'am. See, that don't even. I want it to be in between that. And the ones I'm using are skin tone. It's supposed to be skin tone markers. Let's see if this color will work. Maybe I need to start pulling pink out and get like a warmer color. Let's see if this one doesn't work. And this is called pale pink. Yeah, no. We're not coloring fish. All right, let's see. This is vanilla. Let's see. We got vanilla and porcelain. No. We'll just make her sand. Oh, I don't want to use sand though. Oh man. And I don't want to use colored pencil because that would take us a long, long time. A super duper long time. Let's see. How about Rusty Rose? Although that is looking pretty good now. Let's just do that. What was that color? Vanilla. We're gonna use vanilla and maybe this peachy one. Yeah, let's do that. It's a lot of face to be blending. Dang. You know what? I swatch a lot of stuff, but I don't, I don't use it. I guess I don't trust myself like that because I'm like, oh, I didn't messed up this paper. Shoot. Um, I'm like, let me re-swatch it. So you see right there, Heather, I'm not sure if you can see where it just kind of smudged. Apparently they have an alcohol ink pad that doesn't do smudging. So it would be nice to vanilla. I gotta keep that in mind. I don't even use it. Yeah, they have a new kit, a new Crepes Companions Day right now. That's who I'm talking about. They have a very nice butterfly collection, but the price, I'm like, I can't see me getting it. I really wish that I could use, yeah. I tried Momenta ink and it didn't work for me. So it's probably just operator error. No lie. I seem to always overcomplicate things. Like I can't for the life of me figure out how people make photopolymer stamps work properly without doing a bunch of stuff to them. So I tend to, if you notice, I tend to not use them that often. And when I'm using them, I'm pitching a fit about it. Like I'm like, this is a photopolymer stamp, and blah 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 blah. Instead of just going with the flow of the stamp, I'm crying about it. I don't even think we need to blend. I had bought some Momenta ink, and it didn't work. I have tried heat gun in the ink. Didn't work. So what I tend to do is just, make the whatever it is, the issue, I just work through that and try not to complain too much about it. Because I'm not going to stop coloring and I'm not going to stop inking. So, what am I going to do besides buy more stuff that I screw up? I feel like it's not going to benefit me. All right, so we got the first skin down. I think we will do some blending. Yeah, that's a nice blend. Although it makes her look like she needs some lotion. Sharon, we will make you look beautiful. Don't you worry, darling. If I have to start you over off camera, we will make you look beautiful. You know, Marla, I went to your job, not your job, but your company last week. And I must admit, I didn't spend a lot of money. So I did buy some glue though. And they have a few things on sale, but I'm not sure. They don't have all of the stuff on sale. And I think sometimes the lighter colors run more for me than anything else. Probably because I can pick the lighter colors up easier and you can notice them. All right. So if you can tell, she's looking mighty peakish. Not pinkish, but peakish, like she's sick. So we're gonna fix her right now. And the I'm not doing a proper blend because I told y'all I'm not that great at coloring. I just enjoy doing it. It's very soothing, but the way you're supposed to blend is lay a color down, put the blend on top, put the other color on top, and work through it. And so now you can tell the difference. Like she put on her makeup here, and this is still like, oh, don't look at me, right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make her look fabulous, fabuloso. Anybody went out shopping recently to the craft spots? Yeah, I did that too, but not the eraser you mentioned. I'll have to try it with that eraser. So the only thing that semi works for me has semi worked for me is stamping it dirty. And stamping it dirty, I mean using a versifying clear, one of the clear ones, and stamping it just right on top and apply. So diversify and then applying the ink right on top of it and then stamping it right away. And personally, I'm gonna sound like a crybaby right here. I don't think that. I feel like that's a. I don't like it. I don't think that should be the thing. Like, really? Why is that a thing? Did I not color her neck? All right. And so Sharon is done. Her face, at least. I just want to go over it one more time to make it a bit more seamless, if I can. I don't know. I feel like photopolymer stamps. I don't know. I like acrylic better. No shopping. Yeah. I've seen someone use orange as well. They had an orange and another off the wall tint, and I was like, oh, that is interesting. I think because you can pick up those skin color tones, maybe is how and why. Maybe I don't know. Oh, do we have our brown? We're gonna use sand for her hair because that just makes me happier. Yeah, I I haven't been doing like a bunch of shopping. I don't know why I thought this was darker. So we'll be doing a blend on her hair as well, and then we can send this picture to Nick so she can do the proper shading for me because I can't. I'm not sure if you all have like a favorite company or favorite anything, but when I first got into crafting, which was not very long ago, I got into craft purchasing and craft buying is not the same thing, right? So when I got into like using the stamps and trying to figure out how to use the stamps, I found her, Jamie Doherty, right? And I had to get all of her stamps because I thought her and Julie Nutting was the same thing. Oh wow. Yeah, I saw some of the clearance dies and stamps, and I just got the butterfly, and I think I got two Christmas dies. Cause let's face it, I'm not that good with, I don't like die cutting, so I don't want to buy. I don't just go buy because it's, from $20 to two. I just feel like whoever else wants to house that stuff in their home can do it. I don't want to be a part of that. And plus, I don't like to buy and sell destash it. So I prefer just to use what I have and let other people buy it. Now, I have been seeing a lot of people. I haven't watched any of the videos because I don't want to be trying to go all over the place. But I've seen a lot of people say, round whatever at the clearance, and it has pictures of them with ink pads and Tim Holtz stuff. The store near me has no ink pads on sale. It's no. I'm just gonna go ahead and color out the line apparently because that's what I want to do right now. No, it's no holes like someone went and bought it all. It's just all still there, regular price. And I'm wondering if they are have decided that they're gonna just do clearance very slow. Since people go there and they question, they say, I saw a YouTube or a TikTok or this video and this person had this. And so maybe they're like, you know what? Forget you and social media. We're going to put this on when we want to put it on. Yeah, see? I don't know what the heck, man. It's like, okay. The one thing I have stalked a little bit are the stickers, like I talked about last week, the Happy Planner stickers. And I'm not that good at keeping up with what and what. So I just decide, I consciously decided that I would not just go to the store because of clearance. I needed to need something more so than anything else. Oh, that's too dark. And this is perfect. Yeah. The store where I live, the closest one to me is about 15 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes away. I guess depending on traffic. And one of the managers, she's so mean. She has like a nasty look on her face, like she got to go take a poop all the time or something. And whenever I see her, I always feel bad for the employees. So I'm like, she looks evil. And the way she's probably a wonderful lady, right? Let me go ahead and preface that. But when she's talking to people, I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I could deal with her. She just sounds so condescending sometimes with how she talks to them. Yeah, she's just mm, not a very pleasant lady. Like one day I was looking for some clay, and she was talking to another manager, and he was like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm just looking for some clay or whatever." And I was looking for loose clay. I was actually looking for plaster Paris, and I was thinking about wasting more money in the clay stuff. Just so y'all know, her hair, she's supposed to have a lighter skin. She's supposed to be not African American. Just so you know. So she's not supposed to be my skin tone. But I wanted her hair to be more brown, so I'm just giving it a little bit of love right now because I think I'm gonna go back over with a darker brown in some spots, or maybe I'll streak it out with my glitter pen. Just so you know, that's my plan. She may look darker, but she's not. So I mean, she has a peachy skin tone. It looks dark on camera, but she's not. Just so you know. Yeah, the lady, she just seems very mean. And like people kind of, I don't know. She might be a nice lady, like I said, but I don't ever, I don't know. I just don't get a warm fuzzy from her. So yeah, I always feel bad when people work with people that are like that. Like this one lady, it's another store. It's about 30 minutes away, 25, 30 minutes away, depending on traffic. And the lady is always very nice. She's a cashier. And if you've ever been to Hobby Lobby, it's a lady, a person that usually stands at the front door and greets you. And I think she's like the manager or the front desk manager. Marla probably can tell us more about it. But the lady that's always very nice, she came in and I was like, hello. Because I like to get to Hobby Lobby at 9 o'clock before everyone else decides to roll out of bed. I'm like in the streets and on my way home almost. And the lady was like, I thought that you were going to be in at this time. And she was like, I don't know, she had woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but she was mean to her. And so I was like, ooh, maybe she don't like her. Ooh, not nice. Because when I went to check out through her, she was like, oh, hello, how are you doing? Where's your son? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's at school right now, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't think they really liked each other. And then it's another lady. Look, I'm telling you all my issues with that Hobby Lobby. It's another lady. She's evil. I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, excuse me, do you know if you have? She's like, no, we don't have that. We don't have it. And my friend was like, is that the short lady? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah. She's like, that B. Oh no, no. I wouldn't say what people are like that. Because you know, we could all be jerks, I think. We could all be jerks. I remember during the holidays I was looking for those uh they had some reindeer. I think it was 4 reindeer in a pack. Because I was gonna make a little scene. I never got a chance to make the scene because I got sick, right? But anyway, I had went there and I asked this man, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir," and he was busy. And I hate bothering people when they're busy, like stocking or whatever. But I was like, "Do you have these things?" He was like, "I just came back to work from being off 2 days, and they've moved stuff around." He said, "But I think they moved it over here, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Oh yeah, they are right here." So if you notice, stores tend to, especially Hobby Lobby continuously will move something from one spot to the next when they're gearing up for seasonal stuff, like summer or spring or whatever. Because I saw this really pretty spring thing, and I was like, why is this thing $200? Oh, it was spring in December. So I was like, okay, I wouldn't buy it for $200 unless it was something I absolutely thought I was going to use every day. And let's face it, I don't use any of my same craft supplies. Yeah, every day. Seasonal. Yeah, I wanted to get my son some locomotive things to put in his room. So I had got this. They had this big metal frame. And I guess something was wrong with it because I got it in clearance for like between $7 and $10. And maybe something. It looked fine. It looks perfectly fine. Like it doesn't look like anything's wrong with it. But I'll take the discount. And I had went to another section on Monday and went back to the same spot on Friday, and it was gone. I was like, what in the world? Okay, so if you can see, her hair is starting to darken up a bit. We may just leave it like that. We just need to fix this, and then we'll continue on. I don't think I'm going to be on much longer though. So what I'll do is the same thing I did with the other lady. I'll finish her up and I'll just show you what I did because I have a plan for that other lady as well. The image for Friday. So I hope y'all come back. We're going to be doing flowers, and hopefully we can get some books done. I have to go through. I have to do all of that though ahead of time. I can't be running around the house live streaming talking about, oh, I'll be right there. I need to find this line music sheet of paper. I need to find that. So I'll try to get most of the stuff done. So Friday will probably be a shorter stream, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how much flower foaming we go. So you'll need some foam flowers cut out with foam. You'll need your hot glue gun with glue sticks. You will need an iron turned on high and no steam, unless you have a craft iron. Thank you so very much. So very much. I will finish her up. And again, my I do have plans for this week, but it's cold. So I'll be back on Friday. And we're gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'm gonna just share with you once more what we did. So I think we'll probably leave her. Even though she's not, she reminds me of Princess Diana for some strange reason. Now all of a sudden, so we did this lady on Friday. They're cousins, so we did those two. This is the box I made. We did this box together today. I do have a tutorial coming out in case you are interested on how to make these boxes. These boxes are specific for this image only. Um, you can make the box whatever you want, but I made it for this particular image. Then we have this box, and now we have 6 boxes, right? Nope, we don't have 6 boxes, do we? Do we have 6 boxes? No, I think we do. But anyway, this is the last box we just made together, and it looks like that. This purple box goes here, I believe, and then this goes here. And I don't think we have another box. So yeah, that is that. Now we're working on Sharon. She is a Prima stamp. I believe you can still find her out in the world somewhere if you really want her. She's by Jamie Doherty. You probably can go online if you really want her, Heather. And she's probably on Pinterest. You can just print off. But send me an email and we'll talk about me stamping you a few out and I can get them to you some kind of way. All right. I appreciate your comment, Chuck. That makes me so happy. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed your company as well. I want to say thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.